getting ready for the Seder and getting ready for Pesach. There's a reason why the night of Pesach is called a Seder. Seder means an order. Seder means a structure. And when we're experiencing the Seder night, there are so many things going on, yet there is a structure, and it's really axiomatic. Because what are we celebrating on Pesach, Passover? We are celebrating freedom. We are celebrating we're no longer enslaved. We're no longer in bondage. Someone is no longer in control of our lives. Our destiny is in our own hands. Freedom from Pharaoh, freedom from Egypt, free at last. Structure is the opposite of freedom. Structure is a confinement. Structure has limitations. Structure is, I must do things in a certain way, in a certain order. That's not freedom. At least doesn't seem to be freedom. So it seems like we're celebrating freedom with a Seder? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't seem to make any sense. So obviously the premise is wrong. There needs to be a Seder. There needs to be structure, proper structure for real freedom. So the premise that we feel, the premise that the average child feels, average teenager feels, or for that matter, the person who feels that true freedom is where there is no longer any structure, you're back in Egypt. You're back in Egypt. How are you back in Egypt? Let's go to the very beginning of going out of Egypt. God reveals himself to Moses at the burning bush. And he says, he gives him his mission to go to Pharaoh and demand that the Jewish people demands, Shalach ami v'yavduni. Send my people out that they may serve me. And he will not let you out initially. And I will bring all the plagues and all the wonders. So you will realize that I am God. And when you'll be freed, you will serve me on this mountain. So we are leaving the slavery and the servitude of Pharaoh in Egypt to serve God on this mountain. Why is one enslavement and one freedom? They're both serving. And here's a powerful lesson of Pesach. In life, we are always serving something. It's inevitable. We cannot go through life without serving something. Whom are we serving? We could be serving a Pharaoh, and that's enslavement. Why is Pharaoh enslavement? Because Pharaoh doesn't have your best interest in mind. He couldn't care less about you. Pharaoh is giving you structure. Pharaoh is giving you a very clear structure. You have to go out and work. Go out and build. But it has nothing to do about you. He couldn't care less about you. Go out there and build for me. It's under the pretenses that you're building for the country, you're building for this land, you're building for your patriotism. But it has nothing to do with the Jewish people. It has everything to do with Pharaoh. That's enslavement. There are other things we are enslaved to, which end up being to our detriment. Think about all the things that seem sweet, seem freedom. They seem like freedom. But at the end, we become enslaved. People are enslaved to their own whims. People are enslaved to their career, where they become enslaved by it. It doesn't free them. They become enslaved by it. They become resentful of it. They realize, like the CEO, the founder of Walmart, said on his deathbed to his children, I blew it. Here he built an real empire, financial empire. But his whole life was just dedicated to more and more and more and more. And nothing was dedicated to how to live. You can have a person who is enslaved by food, substance, enslaved by the pursuit of happiness, pursuit of my personal happiness. And what's going to bring me happiness? What will bring me happiness? For some people, happiness is what more I can get, what more I will get. Ultimately, we end up in the same spot. We end up serving Pharaoh. We end up enslaved. The paradigm shift with going out of Egypt is serving God on Mount Sinai. That paradigm shift is that by observing Torah and mitzvahs, they are meant to free us. First of all, they free us because we are hardwired to be godlike, which is having a higher meaning and purpose. A purpose which is greater than ourselves. We are driven by that. The truth is, that's the fire of youth. Look at youth. Look at teenagers. Deep inside, they're yearning to make a difference. Yet, based upon what media tells them, they reorient themselves to what more they can get. But the real drive is, what am I needed for? That's the real drive. So for that, there needs to be structure. Structure is not the enslavement. Structure itself are the fundamentals of anything which any system. Systems are logical. Systems are how God created the world. There's a system in the universe. There's a system in nature. So system itself is not the enslavement. It's what you're using the system for that's the enslavement. So for those who are fighting that we don't want system, we don't want structure, that's not freedom. Freedom is not being anti-structure. It's what we're using the structure. So the beginning of Pesach is recognizing we have to go out of Egypt. We have to leave Mitzrayim. What's Mitzrayim? Egypt. We have to leave all that behind. What are we leaving behind? We're leaving behind a society that is driven by self-worshipping idols in order to get more and more for themselves. That's what idolatry is all about. And who's at the helm of this society? Pharaoh, who really is worshiping himself and asks everyone to worship him. And the ideal of Pharaoh is that everyone really have self-worship. So we have to leave that behind. We leave that Egypt behind. We leave what has held us back from true self-fulfillment. We leave that behind. How do we do it? What's the first step? First step, in order to get ready for the Seder, the structure which is a structure of freedom, is get rid of chometz. What is chometz? Chometz is the elements which end up rising gloating in our own self, that's ego. Get rid of the chometz. Whenever we are at any stage that we're going to be beginning again, a new beginning, a new stage in life, a new stage in growth, a new stage in any area of life, whether it's business, whether it's health, whether it's relationship, we have to leave a previous paradigm behind and now embrace a new paradigm. And we have to be ready to embrace a new paradigm. And to embrace a new paradigm, sometimes it's very scary because it means letting go of previous systems, previous preconceived notions. You know why children learn much faster than adults? Why they're like sponges? It's because they don't have a previous system that they're building on. They don't have preconceived notions. They don't have the failures that we've had in life, that we had to learn about, and are so ingrained in us. Children are starting off on a fresh new slate. And the sky is the limit. The worst thing we can tell them is, no, it's not. Come on. Don't fool yourselves. You can't do this. That's why at the Seder table, who is the star of the Seder table? Seder begins with Manishtana, the child asking questions, the innocent questions. And through life, eventually those questions are silenced. Stop asking questions. Just do what you need to do. You're not going to get answers. It's a false world. It's a dog-eat-dog world. Just survive. Make the best of it. Look at a new paradigm with the eyes of a child. So the very first step is get rid of the chometz. Get rid of that stuff which is all about the ego. The ego allows us to feel that I know so much, I can't learn more. I know the system already. What are you going to tell me? What are you going to teach me? It's the ability of, let me begin fresh, with fresh new eyes. Let me begin with inspiration. So we're not asking that we have to leave all of our experiences behind. But let's be ready to accept a new paradigm. That's what the Seder is about. So we begin by getting rid of the chometz. That's the process we're in right now. Cleaning house from all the chometz. And then we have a ceremony of burning the chometz, which is burning all of our missed opportunities, burning of the voices in our minds that tell us you can't, it's beyond you. Get rid of it. Find the inner child inside of you that's ready to grow, that's ready to embark on a new level of freedom. That's getting ready for the Seder. So let's celebrate the beginning of freedom, the readiness and the preparatory stages of preparing ourselves for new paradigms, for looking at life as if we're a child again, beginning fresh.